Live is still buffering over here. Oh, technology. I have a laptop in here.
It's about you. Victoria Woods. This is about painting yourself first. Businesswoman of the Year. This is about life is full of choices.
Yes, right to list. We're investing in us this year.
It's not what you earn.
It's already on the list.
Well, give me the list. I'm ready to spend some money.
It's in red now.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's on the list. I'm ready to spend some money. Or Pamela, I'm not.
It's about you. Victoria Woods. This is about painting yourself first. Businesswoman of the Year. This is about life is full of choices.
Yes, right to list. We're investing in us this year.
It's not what you earn.
It's already on the list.
Well, give me the list. I'm ready to spend some money.
It's in red now.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's on the list. I'm ready to spend some money. Or Pamela, I'm not gonna do it. Pamela will do it.
We need
Oh.
a little off today.
I was gonna say, I hope that other great video.
Oh no, it was. It was all caught.
Okay.
It's about consistency.
Oh, yay.
Always
I need that.
Occasional brilliance.
It's
She
fluctuating.
is the financial diva.
It's about the money, honey. It's all about the money. All about the money.
Victoria.
And I just can't hide.
There we go.
Yay!
Just have to tweak the wires a little bit.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness
I
gracious
feel like
alive.
it's 9:55 and I should be banging on the rabbit ears, the TV,
Yeah.
holding
Get the screwdriver.
holding it up.
Remember we had pliers when the knob broke? We had pliers that we changed the channel.
Yeah.
I had forgot
I
about
didn't
that.
quite have to do that as
We
a kid,
did.
but I remember
I
we
did.
had the gigantic console television
Yeah.
that weighed like 1,000 pounds, but the screen was this big, and you had the knobs, and it went. There was no remote. We had to, I remember as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not that young. I'm not that old, but I'm
Oh,
old
how
enough to
fun.
remember.
All right,
here
let's
we
rock
go.
and roll. We are here today to talk about things that wealth planning for life means for you. Why do we even have to have wealth planning for life conversation? Well, it's people have different goals and means than older people. So we're going to talk about the different generations. It's not as exciting to me as being able to talk about what I want to talk about, which is all these lovely thank you notes and Kentucky Derby and the Women's Conference and speaking March 17th at the Stroud Chamber of Commerce. There's a lot of exciting things going on. So whenever you're ready, David.
Okay. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and give us a like, give us a share. So hit the share. So 3 things: subscribe, like, share. That's all you got to do. Subscribe, like,
Life
share.
is easy. We
That's
try
all
to
you
make
gotta
it
do.
easy for you.
So, and you know what? If we don't ask you to do it, well, then you never will. So that's why we're asking. So here we go. Please ask a question over in the live chat. You can interact with us and we'll do our best to answer your question. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to It's All About the Money, honey. I am your host. They call me the Financial Diva. My name is Victoria Woods. I'm Chief Investment Advisor at Chapelwood Financial Services. And as always, I am thrilled to death to be here today in the studio, the Diva Studio, right here in the Financial District of Oklahoma. I am joined by my co-host, the King of Finance himself, Mr. Damon King. Yes, we can hear applause for him. It just makes his day. Now, our mission every single week, if you have just joined us, welcome to the #1 financial show on News Radio 1000 KTOK. Our mission every week is, if you're a first-time listener, is we advise millionaires and those that are aspiring to be multimillionaires how to overcome their wealth, yes, fears, challenges, frustrations, all of those things so that you can live your retirement dreams confidently. People, because it's going to be the most amazing year ever. And I know you may be a little skittish out there right now, but that's why we're here to save you. I'm going to share with you some mistakes people are making, and I feel really bad for them. I've always said I try to save the world. Can't save everybody, Damon. Sometimes you can't save people from themselves, and it's so sad. That's why these smart people listen to our show. As a matter of fact, we had the nicest lady that listens to our show. She lived here in Oklahoma. She listened for years. they moved when they retired down to a retirement community on a beautiful lake in Texas. However, she still owns, she has a house here and she comes back. And of course, her daughter is here and her grandchildren. So, of course, she comes back. She's like, what's going on in the kids' lives? Because grandma wants to be there for them, right?
As grandmas are want to do.
They want to do it with family. So I want to welcome Joe and her lovely family. Lovely woman, very smart. Love working with smart women. And her daughter came in with her. So we've had a very exciting week around Chapelwood. I want to share with you, though, what were the topics for the show. And then I want to brag a little bit on my team because I came back from a wealth management conference. So let me just share with you. Last week, I was at a by invitation only wealth management conference. This is the top wealth management advisors and financial planners in the country. I was able to network, attend educational classes, lost a bunch of brain cells, but it was all good. You might have seen some of my Facebook or YouTube posts from the event. You might have seen some pictures of the Jimmy Buffett event on the beach. We worked so hard that they made sure we had fun, and it was fun. Margaritas, lobsters, Jimmy Buffett dancing. It was quite the.
Well, Jimmy's into the retirement business, you know. He's
Yes,
got
I
his
know.
own retirement communities, Latitude,
Yeah.
Margaritaville.
Exactly. Is that completed yet?
Well, yeah, there are three of them. I think there's two in Florida, and there's one in South Carolina.
I thought South Carolina was his first one, and they were going to.
Oh, well, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure there are three of them.
Oh, well, okay. Well, who would not want to live in Jimmy Buffett?
And I think some of the homes
Margaritaville?
are going for like $250, so that's not too bad.
That's
for
very
on
reasonable.
the beach retirement home. So.
All right. And then we had a Havana night. That was really fun. One of our presentations, however, because these were very, okay, because I have no problem saying I drained some brain cells because I went to every single session, and especially the Social Security one, which we're not going to talk about today. We're going to share that information with you probably next week because there's 2,700 different rules and choices. And why do you have to make it so difficult? It's a challenge. But we have the specialist in our back pocket. And this woman, she knows her stuff, people. I've been around a long time, and this woman eats, drinks, and sleeps it. There is no Social Security question that she cannot find out the answer for you to, because it's amazing. One of our presentations, though, was from one of our investing partners, the Capital Group. And this really caught my attention. And it's really the topic of the entire show, besides the times that I'm going to talk and brag about how great my team is and read you some thank you notes that I got back. Nothing makes me happier when I get back and there's little presents on my desk, thank you notes on my desk from people. So what we're going to share with you is, wealth is called wealth planning across multiple life stages. Now, what does that mean? It's specifically millennials, Generation Xers, and of course, this means baby boomers. So baby boomers, don't turn off. It all has to do with you. Because if it's not about you, you need to know what's going on out there. You want to know this. You want to know what your kids are doing. Otherwise, guess what? They're going to take your money. So and spend all of it or waste all of it. There's a concern. Had a client this last week said, Victoria, I have got to protect this child from themselves. So I know you can tell me how to do that. I said, yes, I can, as a matter of fact. And I love it when somebody comes in and they think they have this really serious problem. And it is a serious problem. It's a serious problem to them because they've only had to deal with it once. And I'm sitting here going, if you knew how farmers of wealth management, been there, done that, seen it all. So there is nothing. And I just sit and smile and I listen to the story and people justifying whether. I said, you don't have to justify. Listen, I have seen this multiple times. I know exactly what your options are and what you can do to protect your child against themselves and also protect what you work so hard for in your legacy planning. Mm-hmm. So on today's show, okay, that was my soapbox to you baby boomers, why you need to know these things we're going to share with you because we've seen it all. So today we're going to talk about why it's important to pay attention to your life stages. And baby boomers, why should you want this information? So stay with us. Key wealth management considerations at different various ages. Tax management decisions for investors, again, of all ages. They're different. And we'll give you an update on, guess what? Yes, the coronavirus, it's still lurking around and it's important, and people have gotten scared. Thank you, media, very much. And at least some people that came in said, well, Victoria, I just don't listen to the media. They're trying to scare me to death. Has it impacted the markets? Yes. And we're going to give you what the economists say. Okay, I don't even want to get into politics, but what the one party said that the other party said, let me just tell you from the economist's point of view how this is going to play out, and is it really important to you in the short term or the long term? So, Damon, what's so important about knowing these different life stages that you're in, whether you're a baby boomer, you say Gen Xers, but they love to be called, Generation X. Well, they like to go by, cute little names. We're Gen Xers or millennials. They can't shorten that, poor things.
Yeah.
But what is so important about life stages?
Well, you've got to know what your life stage is. So that
that's a good place to start.
You've got to know, because if you don't know where you are, then it's very hard to know where you're going, right? I mean, you got to have your point of origin, and you're likely going to fail, or at least not optimize taking advantage of some of the forces and options and just different things that you can use at that specific time. So, for example, we're talking about millennials. You're in your 20s and early 30s. Generation X, late 30s to early 50s. I'm 43, so I'm right in the middle of Generation X. We're right in the middle of the millennials and baby boomers who keep fighting with each other. And we're just like, yeah, whatever. Okay. We're just going to keep doing what we do. Generation X, no one pays attention to us, and we like it that way.
That's right. Stay away. Just smile.
Yeah.
Lay low. Stay below the radar.
Alone. I don't want to talk to you. I don't care. And then, of course, we got the baby boomers, mid 50s to early 70s kind of. So those are the stages, okay? The needs of each one of these stages is very different, right? Think back. If you're 60 years old now, well, think back. What life was like when you were 20, 25, a lot different than it is today, right? So millennials, what are you focused on? You're mostly focused on accumulation, all right? Your most valuable assets right now are time and compound interest. Those are your best friends right now. The most valuable asset anyone ever owns is time. And it is a continually depleting asset. You can never get it back.
That's right.
The second most important asset is your ability to generate income. And regardless of your stage in life, I would say that regardless, income is always most important. Because if you don't have income, you can't do anything else. But as a millennial, you've just started investing, you're saving, you've only done it for a short while possibly. So you're probably focused on putting money into your 401k.
As you should be.
You need to be focused on putting money into your IRAs, maxing out as much as you possibly can. You're probably focused on mutual funds, things like that. So that's where you're at in terms of your life stage as a millennial.
That's right. Now, the Generation X, or Gen X, as they like to be called, in your prime earning years, building wealth. That should be your primer. When you start off in your 20s, you're at minimum wage, or you're, on the low end of the food chain. As you progress, you're going to be building wealth. Once you get your house bought, the car's paid for, the kids in school, all of these different things. You're still focused on accumulation for the most part, getting a more sophisticated plan in place and hiring your first advisor, getting a financial plan. Like I said, you want to have a plan to pay off the house, buy the car, put the kids through college. You have females, you're going to have weddings to pay for. Those are the things. So you really need to invest in a financial plan to make sure you stay on target. So it's a little more sophisticated. Now, however, you now feel that retirement clock ticking. So there's a little stress that comes in there. And 20 to 25 years before you decide, hey, I just want to go watch the grass grow, or I want to travel the world, or I want to, get my handicap down to a 4, whatever it is that you want to do. And it sounds like a long time away. Just remember, how much time has passed between now and when you were in your nearly, your 20s. Seems like the clock ticks so slow. And then all of a sudden you hit 23, 25, 27, and boom. It's like you blink and life is gone.
Yeah. I mean, to me, okay, again, the year 2000 sounds just like yesterday. It was 20 years ago.
Exactly.
I was in my 20s, I had hair, more hair anyway. And
baby boomers, you are either firmly in the distribution or preservation stage, or you're pretty close to it. Safety and income are your goals, and they should be. making sure that if you want to leave a legacy or you decide, I'm going to spend it all, Victoria. I've already put the kids through college, bought them cars, did all these things. I'm done. I'm spending every last dollar. And when my dollar runs out, that will be the day that I'm dead. And usually I say to them, well, you better get to work spending because you've got a lot more money than you thought you're going to have. So how are you going to overcome long-term expenses? These are things that you really have to think about and plan for. So it's called financial planning for a reason.
Mhm.
And Damon, I know that this is something that you touch on in your Rock Your Retirement classes. And I just have to say, and I've said this, when I got to hear this phone call, it was sent to me, where he just raves about this class. He raved about Shelley getting him into the class. I guess he says, thank you so much for the class. I'll be back next week. And he said that he thinks it's so wonderful, the information that y'all provide, not only on the radio show, but in these classes. Thank you so much, Shelley, for getting me into this class. It was so well worth it.
Yeah, and he was feverishly writing notes. I got to talk to him right after the class, and so very glad that he was there. Our next opportunity is coming up March 4th and 11th. So that's just this next Wednesday, March 4th and Wednesday, March 11th from 6:30 to 8:30. So you need to get in because we've already got people enrolling, and and
go to the website,
yeah.
chapelwood.com. It's 2 P's, 1 L. I will promise you that it is well worth your time. Just the value of what you provide, Damon, in the workbooks. I've just raved about it and said it's the best information they've ever had. They don't have to take notes because there's so much information. And there's one lady said, Victoria, I had to take very few notes because it's all right there.
Mm-hmm.
Damon provides everything. And it's a true class. It's not one of these, come and have my dinner and, then we're going to give you a sales pitch and not any real benefit rich information.
Yeah.
When you leave the first class on this Wednesday night, what's going to happen? Because the next classes are Wednesday, March 4th and 11th. That's coming up this week, Damon.
Mm-hmm.
Those are on Wednesday nights from 6:30 to 8:30. It is right here at UCO in Edmond. You go to the website at chapelwood.com, click enroll in the class, or love and easy button. Go to Shelley at 405-348-0909. Apparently, Roger says she will get you in that class.
That's right.
Whatever it takes. And just know that this was really designed for those people with at least 50 years old and 500,000 or more in investable assets. The reason for that is because we focus all of our resources, relationships, partnerships, knowledge, success is really for the mid-tier millionaires. So we want to make sure that that's where you're going. You already know, okay, this is where I am now. I got 500,000, but I am looking to be that multimillionaire. And we want to help you get there quicker and make sure that you're not making any mistakes.
Yeah. And we give you an opportunity at the end of the class to schedule your appointment with us.
Sure.
So again, we don't put on a big sales pitch, but frankly, we don't have to, because after you see our proprietary process, everything we do, it's a mad rush to come up and everyone's grabbing those little sticky notes. No, I want that one. That's mine, And so you'll have that
David makes it
opportunity.
fun, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He makes it easy for you to get a consultation, because when a lady came in this last week, Damon, and she said to me, now how much is this consultation, Victoria? Because you've really convinced me that y'all know what you're doing and this is something that we need to do. So what's the next step? And I explained, we have an advisory agreement. You now hire us. We put together the recommendations, work with our team to make sure we give you the recommendations. Now, once we do that, and then she said, well, now what does that cost? Because we've gone over our time that you've allowed. I said, well, we only allow a initial consultation to be sure this is a good fit. I said, once we know that you have the assets, you have the attitude, you're going to be an advocate, then we want to sit down with you. I mean, face to face. Once we get the statements is one thing, face to face to be sure, because I said, this is not a 1-year program with us. This is a 30-year life commitment. We're going to be with you for 30 years and then your kids. So we got to like you. Because if I don't like you, but first of all, if Pamela likes you and you get past her, you're good. She's a sweetheart. Pamela is our first impression manager, and she's just the sweetest thing. But if she doesn't like you, yikes, then you got to get past Shelley. And if you can get past Shelley Myatt, you're doing really good. Then you got to get past Damon. If you've gone through all of those gates and you get to me, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like you. Because the first thing I ask is, they'll say, well, so-and-so called in, Victoria, and they would like an initial consultation. Well, you have to qualify for that. You have had to either listen to our radio show for years, so you know who we are and what our values are and what I believe and what I think. I believe that you deserve statements you can understand. I believe that we should talk to you in English. Now, I heard that so many times that all I kept thinking about is, well, we don't do that. And gosh, I can solve those problems. That's exactly how I built the company, by listening to our clients and people that came to me and said, I can't sleep at night because of these things. I can't understand my statements. I don't blame you. I can't understand some of these custodial statements. They design them that way, people, so that you feel stupid and inferior and ignorant, and it's unacceptable. Those are the things that I believe. And that is the way and the foundation of this company. And everyone treats everyone with respect. No question is foolish. You ask, and if we ever get off into our own little lexicon of, talking Greek, you say, wait, excuse me, I did not understand that. Could you clarify that, Victoria? Absolutely. Thank you. I thank people for stopping me if I happen to slip in to the,
because it's easy. It's easy to
do.
slip into it.
We really work hard and try hard not to do it. It just happens sometimes. And if somebody says the word standard deviation, we all just crack up laughing. It's like, we don't talk like that here. We know what that means. You don't, no, we'll explain what that means. Nobody talks that way. And no question is something that you should not be able to be fearful to ask. Show for years. You qualify. You've got the right attitude. You got through Pamela, got through Shelley, you got through Damon. I said, you're here now. And guess what? I like you. This is a good thing. Now, because I got to like you for 30 years. I got to want to see you. I got to want to see you. I got to be excited when I see your name come up on my computer or on my phone. I want to be excited about that. I want to be excited that, you are calling me for a reason. I don't want to go, oh my gosh, Susie's calling. No, Susie came in this week. I was working on something else. We had an issue with the client, and I got a little message from Pamela. Well, Damon's with Susie if you want to say hi or something. Don't let her leave. I want to see Susie. And so that's the way I want to feel with every single client. That's why you hear me say forever, we have the best clients on planet Earth. Like the lady that just joined our firm, a lovely woman named Jo. We got to see Chuck this week, and Jan, and Damon, you've seen everybody this week.
Oh,
Susie, Dawn.
It's been a cast of thousands.
Yes, Sarah came in. Oh, Ralph and Joan, except I got to lecture them because I didn't get to see them. I was doing something else. Damon, you saw them, and they're going to South Korea. They're going to be on an airplane. Yeah. I'm worried about that. So these are the things we worry about. So, well, I thought I was going on the soapbox here. I was going to just take a breath so that you could throw in something about millennials, because we are talking about, key wealth management decisions. And we have talked about millennials and what they should be doing. So our millennial clients have plans, right? You do financial plans for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as a millennial, again, you're just getting started. So what are some of the key wealth management decisions for you at this point? Well, first of all, don't spend more than you make, okay? Avoid bad debt. Start building up your savings.
Sure.
Fund your 401k or your 403b if you work in the nonprofit world or education. Fund your IRAs. If here's an interesting thing. If you saved, let's say you start at 25 years old and you're going to save for 40 years, you're going to get all the way to 65. If you saved $10,000 a year per year for 40 years, starting at 25, you will have $1 million simply by earning an average of 4.22% in the market. Okay, just 4.22%. You'll have $2 million if you get 7% over that time, and it's pretty likely over a 40-year period you're going to get 7%. So you're focusing on growth at this time, probably using low-cost mutual funds. I would also encourage you to think about disability income insurance in case you get hurt, you can't go to work. Again, your primary goals at this point are two: Accumulate, build up your savings, and protect your ability to generate income at all costs. That's really for anybody. If you're a Generation X, continue funding your retirement accounts. Okay, these are your prime earning years. When you get your first child, absolutely, please, for God Almighty's sake, have life insurance. Okay, you need to protect any dependents
There you go.
that are depending upon you to be able to generate income. And if you die, what's going to happen to them? Set up 529 savings account or some other college
an
funding
UTMA.
account. Yeah, UTMA, or just a simple brokerage account.
Sure.
You might want to do that. Hire an advisor to create that financial plan for you to start building wealth. And then if you're self-employed, you've got a business, you're an entrepreneur, consider how you're going to organize that business. Are you going to have a retirement plan like a 401k or a SEP or a simple? And, how might you be passing this on to the next generation?
Exactly. And then the baby boomers, my favorite people in the world.
Yeah, who we really primarily serve.
Exactly. And at this point, you need what we call a total wealth management, plan. You want an income plan as part of that is predictable, consistent. That's that income stream. It includes a legacy bucket, as I said earlier, if you want that. You need to hire a financial advisor who can help you measure the risk level, build this portfolio that meets your risk level and meets your retirement dreams, not anybody else's. And as long as you're doing that and staying on target to meet that, you're a winner. You are winning at the retirement game. Look at setting up a trust. You must have a trust, a donor advised fund. These are things that once you've accumulated all this money, and these are the things, again, Damon talks about in his class, like a charitable giving account. It's a charitable remainder trust, possibly. I mean, these are the things that we talk about in the wealth management class. And we're talking about, the next one coming up. Lucky you is Wednesday, March the 4th and 11th. It's 2 nights. Those are Wednesday evenings. They're from 6:30 to 8:30. If you have any questions about how to register for that class, simply call Shelly at 405-348-0909. That's 405-348-0909. And she'll help you get set up. Or you can just go to chapelwood.com. You can do that right now, 348-0909. That's chapelwood.com, 2 P's, 1 L. There's an enroll in a class right at the top of the page, and just click register. We'll send you a little, yep, you're registered. No worries. You'll get a response. You'll also then get directions of how to park, what to do, when to be there, all of those things.
Oh yeah, we don't leave you guessing. We let you know exactly what you need to do.
We hold your hand the whole way.
Yeah.
Because we want you there. We want you there on time. We want you to get the most of this class. So when you come, you're going to get this amazing, huge. I mean,
it's over 130 pages. I don't want that to scare anybody,
yeah.
But because there's 5 sections in it.
Right.
We cover income.
We do a goal form.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't want that.
That's what we do in our careers. As
That's what we do all the time.
We distill that down to what you absolutely need to know. This past Thursday was night 2 of our February class, and we talked all about Medicare. We talked about the different things of Medicare. We talked about the difference between a will and a trust in our estate planning. We talked about 5 specific ways you can disinherit Uncle Sam and lower your tax bill in retirement. So we cover quite a bit in this class. And
well, Damon, and what I love too is that you limit the class, so it's really small, so that people. That's why I say you need to get into it, because the last 3 he's had, people have been sold out. So we want to make sure that you get that, what we would call class size. There's a reason we talk about class size for our kids all the time, because we want to make sure that you get that individual attention. Because I know, Damon, you go through so much, but you do allow for some Q&A.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
There's all kinds of conversation.
Yeah, that something that you may say will trigger something for someone, and they want a response. So it's just, I cannot emphasize how important these are. And I'd be honest, I told Damon he was crazy to do 2 nights, 2 hours. Who would come to these? And oh my gosh, people keep saying they're not long enough. They're not long. What are you got? You're just gluttons for punishment. Anyway, well, it's time to take a break. Coming up next, how does managing taxes change as you get older? Does it change? We'll reveal that. Plus, we'll discuss the latest, Damon's favorite subject, the coronavirus, and how it's impacting our markets. Stay with us, because you're listening to It's All About the Money, honey. Would that be hard? No, because there was a break in there that we.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of editing, and I just need to get it down to
Yeah, but I'm saying that big
shave
pause
off
in
like
there.
40 seconds or something like that. Yeah. So,
Okay.
should be good.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Hope that you're getting a lot out of the show.
Of course you are.
Please subscribe to
Subscribe.
our channel.
Like, share,
Mm-hmm.
make a comment on my necklace. I wore this the other day and people were stopping me everywhere I went. Like, well, you have good taste. Thank you very much. We've got so many things going on coming up.
Okay.
Who would have thought 2020 would be so darn exciting?
Every year is exciting.
You can even ask a question like, Victoria, I got this the other day. I get this a lot. How many furs do you have? And I always say, David, what's my favorite saying?
Not enough.
No. In this case, not enough. No,
Okay.
It depends.
Okay.
Are we just talking about vests? Are we talking about jackets? Are we talking about long fur coats, short fur coats? Are we talking about mink cuffs? Are we talking about mink headbands? Do I have to include them all?
I have a nice collection of ties at home. I have about 50 ties.
Yeah.
Problem is, I only wear like 20 of them. The others are just kind of there. I don't know.
Hey, just in case.
You never know.
You never know. Just
You got to have a spare in case you do something stupid like drip coffee on it right before an appointment. That happens to me sometimes.
It happens.
I always like when I wear a white shirt, but that's the day I decide to eat spaghetti for lunch.
I know he did that this week. Is why he's saying that it was painful.
Yeah.
It was painful.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to It's All About the Money, Honey. I am your host. They call me the Financial Diva. My name is Victoria Woods. I am joined here by my co-host, as always, Mr. Damon King. They call him the King of Finance because he does these amazing financial enrichment classes, people, that people just rave about. That's why they sell out. So if you haven't registered, I suggest for the next class, which starts this coming week,
Wednesday.
it's Wednesday,
March 4th.
March 4th. And you're talking about March 4th, Wednesday.
And March
and
11th.
the 11th.
Yes,
So
March
you
4th
need
and
to,
11th.
right. You need
So
to be
it's
both of them.
before spring break. So you don't have to say, well,
Right.
but it's spring break. No, it's before spring break.
Oh.
And we did that on purpose.
Okay. And Damon, if somebody uses that as an excuse not to come to learn about their money and what they should be doing, I'm sorry, they're not our people.
Yeah, because guess what?
They're
Uncle
not our
Sam doesn't
people.
take a spring break. He's still going to tax you. So you might as well come and learn.
That's true. Uncle Sam does not take a break. Well, we don't either, do we? Are we shutting down for spring break? No, we
No.
never have. Well, we do close down so we can, to see clients. That's why we see them all before, so that we
Mhm.
make sure everybody's taxes and, 1099s and all those things
Oh,
get
yes.
done.
And taxes, we're talking about taxes now. Almost all of our clients receive their tax packets. We're going to be getting 1099s out. Sometimes it
Yeah.
takes a little longer because we've got international exposure. So sometimes
It
those take a
does.
little longer to get out. But
It does. Well, and there's deadlines for, for different custodians. We've got all that information. That would be Shelley. I've got
That's
too
right.
much in my head. Shelley knows when all of those
Mhm.
particular dates. I
Making
know.
sure clients know when the required minimum distributions
Right.
for this year. That's a big topic at the beginning of the year.
That's a huge topic. And everybody that we have already seen that is taking required minimum distributions already knows what the dollar amount is. Let's stay
Mhm.
focused on it. Let's make sure.
If they're going to be giving it to charity, some
Right.
people, and that's
What-
part of what we're going to be talking about in this next section here is about tax management
Mhm.
at different stages of your life. So,
Yeah. So if you're just joining us and maybe you're a first time listener, why are we here every week? People ask me that too, Victor. Why are you just not at the golf course? Well, for those that know me, know I love what I do because I'm good at what I do, and I love solving problems for people. If I don't know an answer to something, I've got resources from Hong Kong to New York to Greece to LA and back again. So it's just like, tell me the problem.
you sound like Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere.
Okay, go ahead, David. Like that. But it's true. And if I don't, I love a challenge that's so complicated and so hard. And I just got one this week that I think might be a little challenging. It's not as complicated, but it's a little challenge. But as soon as somebody tells me it, my brain goes into, who do I know? What resources? How can I help this person? And it's like, it has nothing to do with investments. It has nothing to do with investments, except it has to do with money. And I want to make sure they get every single dollar that's coming to them and that's due them. So I was like, bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah, one of the things that we've also been doing in all these reviews that we've done this month, at the beginning of every year, we have what's called our acknowledgement of information, our acknowledgement of services.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we talk about investments, but we're also making sure, okay, you're aware that long-term care is a risk. How are you going
Right.
to do that? You're either going to have long-term care insurance or you're going to self-fund. Which one are you doing right now? Okay.
That's right.
And we have them autograph that, make sure they understand it, initial it. Have you talked with your family about your estate plan? Oh,
That's
you
right.
don't
You
have
don't
an
have an
estate
estate plan.
Well, guess what we're doing in 2020? We're going to
That's
get
right.
your estate plan done.
Yes, and you're not leaving the country until we have
Right.
this done. You are not allowed to leave, because now it's about your kids, and we want to make sure that they are protected. And we're all busy. Let's face it. Nobody wants to sit down and talk about these things. But let me tell you what's worse. What is worse is when you have the knowledge and oh man, I need to look into long-term care. Man, I need to take the time to set up a trust. I need to know what I need to know. Well, if you don't have that on your calendar, like, you know what? I'm going to see Victoria, Damon, Chapelwood team. I'm going to see my people. My people are going to tell me what I need to do in 2020. Single day, it's like, I already got the appointment. It's only going to take me an hour. I'm going to sit down. Shelley's got my time, my date. I'm going to sit down, and they're going to tell me that. And when we ask the question, who's your CPA? Do you have a CPA? Do you need a CPA referral? Do you have a trust attorney? Who does your trust attorney? Oh, yeah, we know them. We've worked with them before. They do a great job. Or, yeah, I did my trust back in 2005, Victoria. I go, really? Well, congratulations. Good job. Why don't you bring a copy of that in with, to our meeting? They bring it into the meeting. It's the most archaic looking thing ever. But they did something. But you want to tell you how outdated that is right now? How many laws have changed that you need to review it? Guess what? When you come into Chapelwood, we have what we call expectations. And we show you very simply, we got a 3-ring binder sitting in the lobby. Hey, listen, if you're not a client, you just want to know better, just walk in and say, Pamela, may I sit down? Can I have a cup of coffee? Sit down, go through that binder and just go, oh my goodness, this is what Chapelwood does for their clients. Oh my goodness, here's the expectations. What it does for you when you see those expectations is every single year we do the same thing. Once we get your financial house in order, then we do what, Damon? Monitor it. We continuously monitor. That does not mean, and we're not trust attorneys. That is not what we do. We have relations with trust attorneys. We work with your trust attorney. We will recommend one that is best fitted for you. We will work with your CPA or we'll refer one that is best for you. If you're a business owner, if you own oil royalties, if you have a lot of real estate, we will work with those people, and I call it in unison, so that we work for you and we communicate with each other so that when we sit down and present something or recommend something, it's going to be that we all agree, because we're turning over every rock. We want to make sure, hey, this is what we're recommending. We've done this so many times, Damon. Send an email to a CPA, a business owner's accountant at their office or whatever, and say, this is what we're doing. Is there anything we've missed? Is there anything that we can maximize tax efficiency? Is there anything else that we can do to help our client? We ask before we ever recommend anything, and we bring everybody in, because what I have said so many times is, when you have an advisor, in my book, I talk about this. You have an advisor. Your primary advisor is your investment advisor. If they are not working in total unison, in conjunction with your CPA, if they're not working in total unison with and communicating articulately with your trust attorney, you're going to have problems down the road, because your investment advisor, not here in Chapelwood, out in the real world. I have had new clients come in and say, well, Victoria, I was told that, my advisor right now, that, they're not giving me advice. I'm not happy. Been with them for a long time. They don't give me advice. They only call me when they want to sell me something. And I ask them a question about maybe financial planning or trusts or anything. They go, oh, I'm sorry, we don't do that. All I do is invest your money. Really? And then you call your CPA and they go, okay, well, I don't do that. All I look at is tax efficiency. Well, there maybe is a reason that tax efficiency it's important, but maybe what you're recommending is not the best thing in the overall big picture. and I'll get on my soapbox about Roth accounts because that's what they do. And I've seen it happen again and again. And then it puts you in a bad position at the end of the day. And I'm talking about at retirement. And when you're 66 years old, now we've created this huge problem. So we've got to be talking in unison, working to do what is best for the client. And then when we got all this money, it is what are we going to do for our kids? You know, we got a kid that's got a drug problem. That's a problem. Client tells me, Victoria, if they get a lump sum, if I die today, that child will be dead in 30 days. How do I protect him from himself? So we're talking about wealth management here, David. Okay, David's laughing at me now because Victoria has had a tendency to get off on her soapbox, but there's a reason for it. And Damon, the reason is, and I'm not going to apologize for it, Damon. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not going to apologize because
you don't see me asking for anything.
Here's you're looking at me with this crazy look like, but Damon I'm so passionate about what we see going on out in the marketplace and what we see people doing right now. This is a sad week for me because I saw it happen in, back at the tech bubble in 2000. And then I saw it happen again in 2008. And now I see it happening again this week. I know it's happening. And then I got it confirmed it's happening. And what's happening out there is our wonderful media and politicians scaring everyone to death about the coronavirus. And yes, we need to be informed. We need to be aware. I come back from Florida and, you got to see people wearing masks. I take Lysol, little packets of Lysol, handy wipes, basically. And yes, you wipe down the chairs. You wipe down the tray. You wipe down anything you might touch. And there's a reason for that. You see people with airborne putting it on their nose to block any germs from coming in. It's airborne. These are smart steps to take. Just like with financial services, the steps to take to protect yourself, life insurance, like you talked about. You have a child. It's not about you anymore, people. Big boy, it is not about you. You get married, you better have life insurance. And you better have it on both of you. You have a child, it is your responsibility. If something is to happen to you, your family's livelihood and lifestyle should not change. That's what life insurance is for. So you got a call this week about the media and the concern and the market going down because of what happened. And can you share that story? Because we only got one phone call. The day the market dropped, I got a phone call from a gentleman at 6:30. He said, I expected you to be there. He said, I'm so glad you answered the phone because, I'm sure you're exhausted. The phone must be ringing off the hook and all. I said, excuse me? I said, no, actually, I've been with clients all day. And I said, I did a video webinar about, wealth management. I said, and he goes, you mean you've not, the market dropped 1,000%. What are you doing? And I said, well, I'm working on an income plan for a client right now. I said, how can I help you? And said, well, aren't you going to tell me? I wanted your opinion. Should I buy gold? What should I buy? Gold. I said, well, if the market went down, I bet gold went up today because of the market and people fearing everybody. Now, I can't prove that because I didn't even take time to research. But I bet you if you go back and look, Damon, you're shaking your head. You probably already know.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
Because that's what usually happens.
Yeah. And I didn't get a call about gold, but I did get a call instead of on Tuesday. So the market really dropped big time Monday. That's what got all the fun started. And then it dropped Tuesday. It dropped every day this week, basically.
Right. And it rallied and then it dropped again.
Yeah. But on Tuesday, I got a call from one of our other clients who lives down in Florida. For him, he's in his 40s. He's like, hey, Damon, I don't care about all these people who are selling. I want to know, should I be buying right now?
Yeah.
And I had to say, well, RC, if you want to take some of your own money that you're investing by yourself and go buy some things that you want, sure, you're going to get a lot of stuff on discount, at least relative to where it still might be overpriced.
And it may go up tomorrow, just like that.
Yeah.
The faster it goes down, we saw that happen on May 10th when it dropped. And I know exactly where I was. I was at a meeting at the DoubleTree in Dallas. In the hallway, came out of a meeting, and when we heard, and it was flashing everybody, and everybody was talking about it, Again, nobody called our office.
Yeah.
The market had dropped 800 points. So people that have been around, like our clients, they go, yep, been there, done that.
Yeah. Well, and so I told this gentleman, everything that we would want to own that's a good company, we already got in your portfolio. So we're not necessarily going out
Right.
and buying, but we're also not panicking and just putting you all in cash either.
No.
This other client that you're talking about, she called, and she is in an extremely unique situation because she is a flight attendant.
Yes. Okay. So I want everybody to slow down. If you're just joining us, you need to hear this. This is from the perspective, not of the rest of us out there just watching the market, listening to the media. This is from the perspective of a flight attendant. Furthermore, she was a flight attendant for American Airlines. She went through 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
That was the time we closed the markets because of the fear of the panic of everything that went on. So that's why I thought, Damon, you sharing this story from her unique perspective was so important for people to hear.
Yeah. So keep in mind what's happening on the airlines. Number one, people aren't flying as much. I mean, basically, there
People
are no
cancel.
flights going to China. It's in the air, and they still require crew, pilots, flight attendants, that sort of thing. She has been flying all around the world. In fact, when I spoke with her this week, she was getting ready to fly to London.
Mm-hmm.
She is seeing these people come on board with masks. They are wiping down every surface.
As well, I do it all
Yeah.
the time anyway.
And they go through, and she says, before the flight and after the flight, people, before they embark and then after they disembark, we're wiping everything down. Every time someone is coughing on an airplane, people are looking around nervously.
Mhm.
There's a lot of fear on airplanes right now. Okay. And she's at ground zero. She is seeing this. So through her lens, through her eyes,
There you go.
this whole virus is extremely scary. And then she also sees what's going on with the market. So what does she do? We just had her strategy review 2 weeks ago, before any of this market stuff happened. The virus was still going on. And at that time, she felt pretty good. Well, she calls this past Thursday morning and she says, Damon, I saw your email, and we did send an email out on Tuesday of this week. And we cautioned everyone to avoid knee-jerk reactions. Don't panic, because we lined out various reasons why. And she said, Damon, I saw your email. I know what you're probably going to say here,
Yeah.
but I'm still scared.
Right.
I'm still nervous. I need some reassurance. What's going on? So I opened up her account.
And what are we doing about it?
What are we doing about it? Yeah.
And it sounds like, can I again applaud to you for calling?
Yeah.
Especially when she sees it. We just hear the news. This was my perspective. We hear it in the morning. We maybe see something on the news at night, whatever. She's seeing this firsthand, like you said, Damon, that was so brilliant, through her lens. She's seeing it every day, all day.
Yeah.
And her industry is talking about it 24 hours a day. These are thousands and thousands, 100,000 flight attendants. This is a tight community.
Mm-hmm.
Pilots, tight community. So she's seeing it every single day.
Yeah, she can't get away from it.
No.
It dominates
And all day.
And the thing is, when something dominates both your personal life
Mhm.
are now wrapped up in this market that's going haywire. So what did I do? I did what we did in her strategy review.
Mhm.
I didn't just come up with some newfangled thing. Oh, well, I need to get this woman off the phone.
Right.
No, I was consistent. First, I'm calm. And I used an analogy, and I said, this is like in your line of work.
Oh, Damon, this
When
is gonna be
there's-
brilliant. I already know what you're going to
When
say.
there's
Good job.
turbulence on an airplane, what are the passengers doing? If they don't fly very much, they're gripping
Mhm.
their seats. They're thinking, they're closing their eyes. Dear God, please just let
Yes.
us get through this. Just let us.
Just
get
let me
through this.
land.
I just want to land. Okay, I just want to get to Disney World.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're walking down the aisle. You're smiling. You're saying, "Hey, can I refill that drink for you?" If there's a little bump, you're like, "Oh, whew, boy, that one felt good," because you've been through it. You
Mhm.
know we're gonna. The odds say, are there accidents? Yes. But the odds say of the thousands of flights that take off every day, most of them are going to land safely at their destination, even when there's a little bit of turbulence. This is exactly what I told her. We have turbulence right now. We even said that in our email. There's going to be turbulence.
Mhm.
There's going to be volatility. But what you don't want to do is
And
divert.
things that are out of your
That's
control.
right. But you still want to stay on that same flight plan. You're not going to divert to another airport just because there was a little bit of turbulence. you're going to continue on your
You're going to go
destination.
over it. You're going to go under it.
That's
The
right.
pilot may say we're going to go do a roundabout, but he's going to get you to your
right.
destination because that's what you expect him to do. They're the ones that are going to stay calm.
Right.
Like Shelley says something about emotional media divert you. It doesn't cost anybody, but guess who? You. When you make a mistake like that, it only costs you. I saw so many of them. And when I heard on the phone, Damon, one of our providers saying, oh, those are the ones, one of our providers, and I can tell you who they are. The ones that protection of assets. Now, we talk about it all the time. Our clients have a portion of their money protected. So you know why we don't get the phone calls? He even said this. Victoria, the reason I'm calling you, his name is Josh. He said, the reason I'm returning your email, I didn't even think about it till that moment, but your email now is because we have been slammed all day. And this is the mistake people make. You do not make a bad decision like Damon's example. When there's turbulence, sit your butt in your chair, put your seatbelt on, listen to the flight attendants. That's your job. Do whatever pilot's not going to tell you. He's trying to get you to your destination. He's trying to figure out, do I go above this, below this, around this storm? No, what you do is you sit your butt down, put your seatbelt on, and obey whatever they tell you. They're there for what? After 9/11, they will tell you. We are here primarily, not your coat, kiss your honey, do all that. No, we are here for your protection, for your safety. When you get on this plane, my job is to get you safely from, departing area, Oklahoma City, to Florida. That's my job. When these people, bless their hearts, have this job. And right now, think about how many people maybe say they don't even want to go to work because of what the media is doing. Your job in wealth management, too, is to make sure you do this prior to a storm. How many times have you heard me say, you do not make changes during a storm? When there's a hurricane, when there's a tornado, sorry, go to your designated place. You put the pillow over your head. You grab your kids and the dogs, your emergency equipment, your bottled water, your flashlight. Go where you're supposed to go. This is no time to plan. Where's my blanket? Where's my flashlight? Where's my dog? Where's my safe place? That's not the time to do it. The time to do it is when sun is shining.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 5-mile-an-hour breeze. There's blue skies. I'm calm. There's no panic. You don't do it. And people are making hundreds of millions of dollars worth of mistakes right now. And I know it. And it makes it stabs me in the heart. It makes me sick.
Well, one of the ways that we helped our client who called about this, what did I do? Her designated place is her income plan.
Mm-hmm.
This is her designated right.
Because she's made some decisions,
That's
different
exactly
decisions over that period of time.
And I went back to her buckets, and we've got different buckets for different lengths of time. And I reminded her, now here's the bucket when you fully turn on income. The bucket that we're going to take money from, we need to get 1%. Guess what? We're getting 3% right now.
There you go.
The second bucket, you know what? We need to get 4.5%. Right now, we're getting over 6% in that bucket, even with the market having erased some of those gains. I was honest with her. I said, you're down about 3% in this bucket for the year, but you're up relative to where you need to be. You're still to the good. And your far off bucket that you're not going to use for 20 years. Guess what? We need 6% and you're getting 5.95. So yeah, I admit it. We've got a little work to do, but I think we'll make it in the next 20 years. So when you forget about the crap that you hear in the news,
but be smart like Lynn and call your advisor though.
Day-to-day movements are going to happen. You're going to see volatility. What you need your advisor to do, and if they're not doing it, then call us or come to a class so that we can show you.
Take action.
But what you need is someone to grab your hand and say, follow me.
Yeah, but if they tell you just stay the course and they don't give you what Damon just did, hard fact evidence, looking at your income plan saying you're on track. Here's where you are. And not to mention the protection of assets that she has.
And
that
I reminded her, I reminded her, we got about 20% of your money protected.
100%. Nothing can happen. So you're going to be able to
yeah.
retire when you want to, and this is going to be short term. All the economists say so. However, in talking about that protection of asset class, when somebody tries to challenge me and tell me you cannot, earn a fair interest rate, let me just explain something to you people. I'm going to be Lucy right now. I'm going to explain to you, or Ricky better. I'm going to explain to you, Lucy. Okay. So a client comes in for her annual review of her assets, and we call it strategy meetings because we're going to review and we're going to strategize. Do we need to make any changes? And of course, the topic of conversation is the virus. This lady says, when you show her that on what Damon just talked about on the income stream plan, the different buckets of money that we have, and then he says, oh, and by the way, over here on this money that people tell you all the time that you can't earn any money on, and we tell you just, it's guarantee of principal, you can't lose it, so don't expect, a high rate of return. You don't expect maybe 4.5%, 6%, but in good years, averaging, but in good years, come talk to me, challenge me on how you cannot earn a decent and fair return on assets that you can never lose. I challenge you.
We have full
throw
evidence.
the gauntlet down.
We have proof.
Of course, we do it every day.
And I've had people challenge me with that very question in my financial enrichment
Oh, I
courses.
so hope you show that on March 4th.
and I tell them, look, you can believe what you want to believe. You came here to this class to learn.
Yes, the truth.
I'm not trying to sell you anything. Do what you want to do with your money.
Yeah, there you go.
But all I'm telling you is what we do for our clients, and it works
Every day.
And,
been doing it for 28 years.
And if you
and I'm not dying anytime soon.
There you go. And if you want a dose of that kind of education, just real, honest education, and we're going to tell you what it's how the cow ate the cabbage. Okay, then come to our next class, March 4th and 11th, from 6:30 to 8:30. Those are Wednesday evenings at the University of Central Oklahoma. The cost is just $50. It's tuition for a real class. We'll give you all the materials. Bring an open mind. That's really all you need to bring, and yourself. Good for you and a guest. So March 4th and 11th, would love to see you in class. It is going to fill up, so get in now. Go online right now, chapelwood.com.
That's right.
Click enroll in a class up at the top of the page, and you can enroll for our March class. You can even enroll in April. That's there too, but March is the next one.
Do not wait.
Yeah,
do not stop. Do not pass go. This is like Monopoly. Just go to the class. And an easy button is always 405-348-0909. And you'll be talking to the lovely Director of Client Services. That's Miss Shelley Mott. She'll make the easy button easy for you. Well, until next week, another lively discussion, I'm sure. We can't wait. And until then, though, my best advice, don't take advice from broke people, physically, financially, or spiritually.
All right. All right.
That was so much fun.
There you go.
I was like, I love life.
High energy. I like that. So, all right. Well, thank you again.
Victoria's on a terror.
That's right. That's right.
People losing
But
money.
you got to
kills me.
know. People got to know.
Oh, it just killed me
So,
when I got that message.
Thank you for watching. Hit the
Thank you.
subscribe button. All right. So you should be seeing here right about now at this time, you should see the little thing that comes up on our screen to subscribe to the Financial Diva channel. You get all of our great content there. Every time we upload a new video, you get a reminder. And then go back and look some of our other recent videos. We've got all kinds of great content.
There's a library out there.
That's right. So
Lots of stuff.
thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share. Those are the only three things. Subscribe, like, and share. There you go. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you for watching. Until next time.